Hello, everybody. Spider here, DeFi Card Podcast, coming to you once again. We are on location in San Antonio, Texas. Once again, this is November 19th. I'm being joined once again by Aaron Suarez. Aaron, man, how are you, bro?
Man, doing good, man, doing great.
I know I had to drag you out of bed this morning, bro, so I appreciate you once again for coming here, man. Now, a couple of things we're going to talk about, man. Few things I wanted to start off with was the Bellator fight. This was for Bellator 271. Of course, Chris Cyborg defended her title against Sinead O'Connor. No. Sinead Kaavanaugh, man.
Yeah.
But did you watch the highlights, bro?
Man, I did, man, and you know, seeing Cyborg just doing what she normally does, you know, just knocking people out. I mean, she's been doing this since what, the 90s, or at least it feels like it now.
No, definitely. Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a long time. So, but no, it was a good scrap towards the end. Well, it was only one round.
Yeah, it was just at the first round, but it was 60 seconds, man. So that's a lot of seconds, bro.
Just a flurry of, you know, looping hooks and everything like that, kind of just biting down on the mouthpiece and just going at it. And I just don't know when girls are gonna realize that they shouldn't be doing that with the Cyborg. So. Yeah, I mean,
yeah, no joke, man. I mean, we had talked a little bit prior about this, man. But the whole Sinead Kaavanaugh, man. I mean, the hook that we're using was that she's training out of the same gym with Conor McGregor.
Yeah,
and that was a bad hook, bro. I mean, it was just the lady, of course, she's a fighter, man. I mean, no doubt she trains. She's she's out there, trying to make a name for herself. But I mean, she's not at that level, man.
No, she really is. Last person that really. To do that to Cyborg was Amanda Nunes, and so. But I think Cyborg's kind of happy being where she's at and kind of being in that spot, so not having to get challenged too much.
No, I mean no doubt, because I mean Kaavanaugh was actually in the Bellator rankings. I've gone through the rankings itself, and I mean the fighters. I mean, like I said, no disrespect. I mean they're training, they train hard. They're trying to get that win, and of course take that title. But it's, I mean, compared to like the UFC, of course, does it match well? Not really. I mean, I know they've got former UFC fighters that are talking about going into Bellator. So I mean, that's more options for her to fight. One of the ones that Big John McCarthy, man. I mean, after her win, he told Cyborg basically, Kayla Harrison's here. Kayla Harrison, I mean, of course, the PFL champion. I mean, she's a mixed martial artist, a gold medalist, in the Olympics. She herself, man, she was actually at the UFC event before Bellator, so she's been dropping here and there, man. I mean, of course, this is smart for the lady, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Going to the different promotions, seeing, what they might offer and seeing probably where she's going to get a bigger response at. So yeah, I mean, she's 12-0, judo champion, just kind of, just weighing out her options, seeing probably hopefully was going to get her the most money.
No, I mean, and let me ask you this, man, because even if Bellator were to ask her or offer her more money than the UFC, I mean, it might not happen, who knows? But, I mean, what would you do? Would you still go with the UFC for better options?
It just depends, yeah. I mean, what is she really chasing? I mean, if she's chasing, the bag and trying to get the money, I mean, if Bellator's offering more, and then she's probably not going to, like, she'll get challenged, but she won't be tested as much as I think she would with the UFC roster. I mean, if I can still make the same amount of money, if not more, and not take as much damage, well, yeah, I'm probably going to go with Bellator, and but if, she's looking for maybe, long-term stuff, or she's just looking to just challenge herself. I mean, she is an Olympic judo champion, so she's used to being tested and everything like that, and kind of, putting herself with the UFC, I think she would have more options to challenge herself and get, go against better fighters, but it's also going to take away that 12-0 really quick.
No, yeah, I mean, she's going to fight a higher caliber, man. So of course, caliber. She's going to have to train harder, or maybe she's already at that level, man. I mean, the fighters that she was fighting before, she was taking care of business. So, I mean, but there's only one way to find out, right? If she goes to the UFC, then we'll see that. One of the guys, and I just thought about this with Ben Askren. The same thing, man. He was a Bellator champion. UFC didn't want him. He went to fight overseas, got the title over there. He finally made it to the UFC. Well, we know what happened. Man. I mean, he was tested, and I mean, he wasn't up to par. Whether he was older or had injuries, of course. But he didn't make the cut, basically.
Yeah. Well, but I mean, he did beat Lawler. I mean,
right.
It was a weird, victory or whatever is like this whole but yeah, and then of course he ended with Masvidal. So
no, yeah, that was the dot in the I. He crossed the T, and that was it, man.
He's like, hey, I'm gonna go back to doing something. I'm gonna go fight a Paul brother.
No, yeah, for sure, man. I mean, that obviously made more money. I think he got paid like $1 million before taxes, so hey, that's more than I got, dude. So props to the guy for that. One of the other guys I wanted to bring as far as for a good example, man, is gold medalist. He just won the gold in the Olympics for in wrestling, bro. This was who was it? Jordan Burroughs.
Burroughs, yeah.
Now this guy, I mean, of course, the same thing. He was he went to a UFC event. He went to a Bellator event. He went to a WWE event, and of course, he ended up going with the WWE. Mm-hmm. Now, the guy's young. I mean, so even if he were to make a 4-year contract with the WWE, I mean, he can still come back out and fight. There's a couple of guys. I mean, of course, Brock Lesnar. He did his thing. But there's WWE, I guess, entertainers that have fought in MMA, and there's 2 of them in there. I mean, what are you thinking on this one, man? I mean, as far as, did he make the right decision?
Well, I mean, getting really getting kicked and punched or just faking it.
Yeah, taking their kicks and their punches, man.
I mean, it's still a strenuous schedule as far as, having to travel for the WWE, but I mean, I think at this point, he's going to create a fan base where, I mean, he can get injured, he can get hurt, but it's less likely that that's going to happen. He's going to stay in shape, and then taking that audience and then having them follow him into a UFC or even into a Bellator contract. That's going to be big for him. I think he'll end up making more money and have a big fan base, and a lot of other promoters, here in town and regional wise, are like, I really don't want to sign the fighter. He's like, but he sells tickets, and that's a big part of which I hate now of being a fighter. You got to be able to sell tickets.
Yeah, no. I mean, we've talked about that before. For those listening, check out our past episodes, man, because we brought that up quite a bit, man. I mean, but it just sucks that has to happen as far as on the fighters, side, but I mean, promotions are looking to put asses on the seats, as they say. So, for sure, man. I mean, everybody out there, you got to do what you got to do, man. Get your sponsors, get your media up, get your following up as far as, And one of the good examples, man, we had talked about also, man, with the Logan Brothers.
Yeah.
I mean, these guys. I mean, obviously they had a fan base. They have a huge following.
Yeah. And
both brothers, of course, they've done their own thing as far as advertising and promoting themselves, but I mean, they're getting some wicked freaking killer bouts, dude. I mean, they're fighting champions that people are still waiting to work up to. So, I mean, is it good for business? Yes. Is it good for the sport? I mean, we'll see. Yeah. I mean, they're putting eyes, and it's just back and forth, man. I mean, what are your thoughts on this, bro? I mean, what do you think the sport's getting more out of it as far as?
I think the sport's hurting about it because just the atmosphere they're bringing in. I mean, you're getting a whole bunch of celebrities, crossing over to box, and they're just not good.
Yeah, right.
Some of them, and with some of the crossovers, okay, hey, they did better than others. I think what was it the receiver Chad Ochocinco?
Yeah.
They said he didn't do too bad. You can tell he was still an amateur, but he didn't do too bad. But I think with what the Logan Brothers are doing, or the Paul Brothers are doing, is perfect and ideal for them, because if they were to try to start from the beginning or the very bottom of boxing, like that wouldn't work. Like they're gonna, I don't know who would really want to fight them at the lower levels, and just their name itself is gonna sell out that arena or theater or whatever the case they're gonna fight at. So it wouldn't be worth it to them. So I think as far as like a business aspect of it, with what they're doing right now, is that they're still getting experience. They're fighting guys that other people know, and so they're getting experience, but they're also not putting themselves in as much danger because of it. So I think one of them started off with what, Nate Robinson,
right?
I mean, hell, we could have gotten somebody down the street that could have fought Nate Robinson. I think he's still trying to get himself up, and then after that, then they move up to Ben Askren. Right.
And then move back up or might back down. However you can see it, but yeah, man.
Which we all know him for striking, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And so, regardless of how people feel about it, I mean, he's getting experience and he's in the boxing, and they still got to go through the commission. They still got to, get their hands wrapped and they got to warm up. And now the other thing about it too is that, anytime with fighters, they want to have enough money and enough time to go train. They have both those things, and they're going to train with the best places. They're not going to be going, down the street to, some guy. Oh yeah, this guy I know, he holds pads, and it's like, okay, well, what I'm saying? Like, their garage gym is going to be a lot better than a lot of other people's, and they're going to be able to bring people in because they have that time and money. So, they're fighting guys that are probably at their level, but man, they have the money backing them behind them, and they're just going to get better and better. I think from the first fight to where he fought Nate Robinson to where he fought Woodley. If that's the same brother, I don't know which one, but I'm sure he's gotten a lot better.
I mean, because like you said, all they're doing right now is training, man. Yeah. I mean, they have the time, they have the money, so heck, why not? Now, one of the things I want you to bring up, I mean, for me, because when people say, boxing, I always consider it celebrity boxing, because for me, that's what it is. They're fighting celebrities, and they're, whether they're TikTok or TikTokers or Facebookers, whatever, man, whatever celebrities they're coming from. I mean, they have a fan base, so that's the way I see it. But they are making money. I mean, the guys that are in the UFC and people that are going out there and catching in, like I said, man. I mean, heck, I don't blame them. It's just like a rock band that started in the 70s and 80s, and now they're getting paid for these commercials. It's like they finally get money out of it. Why not, man? Let them make that money. Now, definitely. We brought up the Paul brothers, of course, man, but this bout that they're actually trying to match up, man, they posted it for July next year, 2022. Yeah. But against the Diaz brothers, man. And I know, you had messaged me at 3 a.m. I was half asleep, but yeah, man. I mean, as far as the Paul brothers versus the Nick Diaz, and who do you see winning those bouts, man?
I don't even want to say it out loud.
I won't tell nobody.
Yeah. Don't tell nobody, please. Yeah. Since it's going to be later on, what was it, next year? You said July.
For July, yes, sir.
The Diaz brothers, they're not getting younger. They're, I mean, I know they've still been training. They've been doing their marathons and cycling and all that stuff or whatever. But seeing Nick, the way he came out in his last fight, he did good, and they're both very durable. Oh man, I would probably go with the Paul brothers. I think Nick is going to give him more of a fight than Nate. I'm just concerned just because of the cutting that could probably happen to the.
That's true. I didn't think about that, but they have scars everywhere, man.
And they're not going to be ones to they're not really ones for head movement.
No, and go forward.
You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of things. They have good boxing, and I think they can compete and stay with anybody, but. When you're in training and you got headgear on, you have, the protective gear, that helps out for them to kind of stay up. But now it's not. They're also going to be not a lot lighter, but they're also going to be the smaller fighters.
Right.
And the Paul brothers, they've discussed openly, like, hey, we're going after guys that are a bit older, that don't really transition well to boxing, and that's what it is, I think.
Yeah, I mean, that's their marketing scheme, and it's working, man.
If this was 5 years sooner.
Oh yeah.
Oh dude, hey, easily, hey, but again, the Paul brothers are a little bit smarter than that to understand it. So,
they're smart. They waited 5 years later, bro. How dare they, man?
Sons of bitches, right? But was it Logan? He lasted, whether we liked it or not. He lasted with Mayweather.
Yeah.
And you think about the experience and the value that he got from that 12 rounds that he went with him. I mean, and then now he's probably gonna have a coach that's gonna break all that down for him. And say, hey, look, we got to work on this, and you take a Paul, one of the Paul brothers who's 4 or 5 fights in, compare that to an actual boxer who's 4 or 5 fights in.
Right.
Like the difference is just in a big advantage for the Paul brothers. So trust me, I don't like saying this, but yeah,
I'll edit that out, man. I'll edit that part out. But I'm with you on that, man. Especially. Like you said, it's going to be in July. I mean, whether or not they're going to take training seriously. Mm-hmm. And my thing is, I mean, how are they supposed to do that Stockton slap with the glove? Right. I don't see that. So they're not going to be able to get that momentum now.
No, definitely not, man.
So we'll see, man. I mean, it's supposed to be Team Diaz versus Team Paul, so we'll see how that goes. And, You know, I mean, there's 6 more months till that happens, if it happens. So we'll wait till then, man. But I did want to bring that up.
Yeah, man, and I hope it doesn't happen.
I
want the Diaz legacy to just kind of be where it's at, stay in MMA, have Nate's one last fight in the UFC, and then just go off and train kids. Like
no, yeah. I mean, they obviously there's businessmen. They're after selling that CBD and distillery and all that good stuff, man. Yeah. So props to them for that. So for sure. Another crossover, and actually, since we're in the in that topic, man, is Paige. We're talking about Paige, man.
Yeah, Paige Man, yeah.
And her and her team. I mean, of course, they've been invading like these regional wrestling promotions. I think TNA. I want to say I tried looking it up and they wouldn't pop up. But I mean, they've been going to these smaller venues. I know she's popped up in the WWE.
I think it's AEW.
AEW. Probably it might be, man.
Yeah.
And but. The same thing, they're crossing over. I mean, of course, they're getting more fan base. They're getting more, both sides are getting the following. So, I mean, that's a good gimmick. I mean, right? I mean, they're actually putting ice where ice weren't. And, I kind of feel betrayed. And I'll say this, man, because, Paige, I'm a subscriber. And I just feel that, she didn't ask me about this first. And because I feel like I invested in her. You know what? I don't know. I'll have to call her lawyer or her manager and see, man, because I think she should go through us first and see whether or not we think it's a smart idea.
It's a good move. Yeah. I mean, if I believe she is an accountant.
Oh, yeah.
Is that what they call them?
Yeah.
And you know what? I think I'm looking at it right now. It is AEW.
AEW. Okay, there we go, man. Stand corrected, man.
Yeah. So they're crossing over, which is it's again a good business move to get to bring your friends from one spectrum to the other, and you start crossing over into all these different things and. But you see a lot more people trying to get on these trends of, okay, how do I make myself grow as a business? And this is one of them. Crossing over, doing these different things, throwing yourself out there. Another fight, I'm not going to say her name because but she's from Texas. But apparently she's an accountant too, and no idea. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's very interesting to see a lot more ways where people are starting to kind of bring in that money. And figuring out, okay, hey, what else can I do to get a wider fan base? What is it? So hey, props to y'all for doing that and going from there. But yeah, it's
yeah, man. I mean, and I mean, I can't hate on that. I mean, because obviously, I mean, they got followings. I mean, I personally wouldn't. It's just kind of awkward, man. Because of course we want the following as well, but I wouldn't sell out, dude, or I wouldn't not necessarily sell out, but that brings me to the point. The Island Boys are going to be on the studio tomorrow, everybody. So going after those hits.
Yeah, you can't see it, but we have the hairstyle like them right now.
Yeah, man. That's why we're a hat, bro, because my hair's all over the place, man. But but you know what? Props to them, man. Like you said, I mean, obviously, if I was in that situation, man, I'd be trying to make as much money as possible. I know, I mean, Paige and there's other UFC fighters that have the OnlyFans thing going, and they're buying houses, bro. They're buying houses for their parents. They're paying off their debt.
Yeah.
And obviously they're making more money than fighting, bro. So, I mean, it makes you wonder, like, why the hell are they fighting, right? But, I mean, they still want to do it, so, good for them. But,
And I just wonder if that's going to help out with the talks of, getting the fighter pay a little bit higher.
Negotiations and all that. That can't hurt, man, because, I mean, it's... I think it was Diego Sanchez that had that only page, going. And I think it was her manager. He came out and said it was his manager running it. But, I think he was just posting training and tips and stuff like that, which was, I thought that was kind of cool, man. I mean, he could have done that on his own website, but, it's just another outlet, for him to make a little bit more money. Now, as far as wrestling, man, I know we talked earlier, man. I mean, I grew up watching pro wrestling. I'm a fan of, WWE's going on tonight, so I gotta be home by 6:30. Get my chips and my drinks ready, man, to sit down. But I mean, are you a fan of pro wrestling?
I grew up. I think I was with the Attitude Era, so we had
that explains a lot, bro.
Yeah. We had the Shawn Michaels, getting
Stone Cold.
Yeah, we were trying to stun everybody, during lunchtime and stuff like that. So standing up, hey, suck it, all the different things, right? I was a big fan growing up. I think it wasn't until like high school I was like, okay, all right, I got other things to.
Good job, thing.
But one of my neighbors, man, he used to be a referee for the TWA, and there was a local circuit. They would come in town, And he's like, hey, you want to go to the show? I was like, yeah. So, we'll go. And then we got to, hang out with Shawn Michaels and his manager, Jose Lothario, and then one of my baseball coaches, he was actually the announcer for the same promotion. And then so we got to, again, meet up with some more guys. And one of them actually came in. He picked him up at the airport, and he came back. And they actually went to one of my fights over at Crossroads. And so that was pretty neat, man. Then we got a picture with Lance Cage, and RIP, right? But yeah, man, it was pretty neat to be able to go to these smaller events, see these guys that were on. I'm like, hey, man, you're the Godfather, and
no joke, man.
And you're over here,
watching me fight.
Yeah, watching that's pretty cool, man. And so it was a big thing, man. So I really enjoyed it. Yeah,
and you have brought up Funaki. Of course, man, and him. I mean, I don't know if he's from here, but I know he's lived here for years, man.
Yeah.
And the only reason I know that was Rudy Hernandez. He had his gym out there with a Spartan Pit, and they made an appearance, and Funaki was there, a couple other people, and I was like, man, but I found out there that he was here in San Antonio, so that's pretty cool, man.
Yeah,
I mean,
we're over there at McDonald's, man, and turns around and he's and he notices my neighbor, and he's like, Rick, and he's like, yeah. And hey,
it was more like weak.
Yeah.
He said he had that accent, bro.
Yeah, well, I didn't want to go that far. Let me do a few more.
Yeah, let me edit that. FYI, bro.
Yeah, I don't want to be canceled yet.
There you go, man. No, but yeah, bro, and I mean, like I said, I mean, I saw the guy and I was like, cool, man, because I grew up, watching him wrestling, of course. For me, man, I mean, I was an '80s kid, so I mean, growing up with the Von Erichs, growing up with the Southwest Championship Wrestling.
Yeah.
I mean, I've always followed it, man. I mean, I was growing up, my pops taking us to the Henry B. Gonzalez, man, going to watch the wrestlers and everything. So that was pretty cool, man. It was a lot of good times. But that's kind of where I fall back on this, because I still follow it. I would love to. I love the fact that they're kind of like meshing together and kind of mixing it up.
Yeah.
I know a big promotion that was doing that, of course, was the Pride Days. Pride, man. They were bringing in wrestlers, and they were, trying to mix it, and they did a good job doing it. One of the things that I had heard, I mean, I wasn't there, but it was that the way Pride worked was they would offer a fighter, $50,000 and $50,000 if they won, and $50,000 and $100,000 if they lost. So whether or not they wanted them to lose to these fighters, man, who knows, bro? Yeah. But I look back at a couple of fights and I wonder, man, because I'm like, you know what? It sucks to say that these fighters will take that, but the only thing I can think of is, they're fighting overseas. Maybe they didn't think we'd watch it or see it, but
yeah.
But I don't know if anybody out there, man, if you know something about this, or if you heard about this, chime in. I'm full of it, and hey, say that too. But I know I read it somewhere.
I know, like I said, the Pride Fighting Championships, like they had, like when they had a lot of those guys finally come over to the UFC, and they couldn't juice up anymore,
right?
And then they lost, and I know, a few other fighters from the UFC were just like, yeah, well, now they have to actually fight.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's nothing over there scripted. So yeah, if we can get someone that can confirm that, man, that'd be sweet.
Oh yeah, man. Because I mean, it kind of makes sense. I mean, because Pride, of course, they were. The pro wrestlers out there, they had a huge fan base here, so they used to sell out arenas, and I mean, it was crazy. I think the owner of the Pride was actually murdered, man. I mean, I know he was involved in some mob stuff out there, and he was taking care of this, so that's horrible. But I mean, just makes you wonder how much money was involved, as far as like everything, business wise, man. But yeah, but that that's it goes back as far as that, as far as like I said for myself, dude. I mean, as far as being a fan of both, let me ask you this, bro, and this is right off the top, dude. If you were to go into pro wrestling, man, what would be your nickname and what would be your finishing move?
Oh man, I don't know, man. It would probably be something. My finishing move would probably be something like off the top ropes or something like that. I'd want to fly through. I don't know, maybe like a Jeff Hardy, like a Swanton bomb or something like that.
Oh man, I hurt my back just thinking about that one, man.
Yeah, I wouldn't have a long career.
That'd be your one and only match, right?
That'd be the one.
Go for broke, man. Literally.
I'd be one of those gimmick wrestlers that don't even have the entrance music.
They just bring you out the back.
Just get in the ring. You'll be all right. Yeah. And then as far as the nickname goes, man, I don't know, man. I don't know. They would have to do something with with my long hair. I don't know. They probably call me like just like the Savage or something, or
Yeah,
Chief or something like that. Yeah. So
come out like Superfly Jimmy Snuka, man. Just go out there wild, man. Hey, man, as long as it sells tickets, man, let's do it. Sign you up, bud.
Yeah. Hey, I'm free this weekend, guys.
No kidding, right? Any regional promotion out there, man? Hey, want me to, mop the floors and do a wrestling match or two, man? Sounds like get paid.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, pay me half, and I'll help take down the ring.
There you go, man. And then back to the old MMA days. I've been there, done that, and it's like, hey, those that went through that, of course, promoters loved it because they didn't have to pay nobody.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. I mean, as far as the fights, bro. One of the ones I wanted to go back to, as far as to cover, man, was actually the Hector Lombard versus Lorenzo Hunt.
Yeah, man.
Now this was for the BKFC event, of course. With Hector being the title holder.
Yeah.
I had asked you as far as like who we had picked, and I don't remember. I'm gonna go with Lorenzo Hunt because he won. But if somebody else backtracks and corrects me on that, then great. But what did you think about that, man?
Man, well, he came in heavy, not Hector Lombard. It was Hunt, right?
Right.
He came in heavy, so man, off the bat, I mean, it shouldn't have been a title fight. It should have, it should have just been a regular exhibition. But man, dude, I thought seeing the day before the weigh-in or it was the press conference?
Press conference, bro.
When he came in and like got his belt and like threw it
down. Man.
Oh my god, yeah, dude. I was
I thought he was crossing over to WCW or something. I was like, man, what's going on, dude? Like that was crazy.
Man, the look in Lombard's face, I was like, as soon as I saw that, and I was like, I picked the wrong guy.
No, yeah, bro. I mean, maybe that got to his head. Maybe that was his game plan. I mean, who knows, dude? But
yeah, but I mean, you can't take someone's belt, slam it on the floor, break it, and be like, yeah, I'm gonna fight for this. So like, and I think once you see that right there, I think that's where Hunt won the fight.
Yeah.
I think it was still a competitive fight. It was still back and forth, but man, I think at that point, Lombard was just really he was in there just because he had an obligation. He had to fight in there, and but I think everything that Hunt did up to it, from the preview, where he was trash talking and talking about, man, you wanted to train with me back in the day, like now I didn't want a piece of you, like, all right, I'm gonna mess you up. So what he did at that press conference, and then of course like. And then during the fight, man, it was a unanimous decision, I believe, or something.
Yeah,
it was a decision.
Right.
But I mean, yeah, I think mentally he had that edge over him from the beginning before they even walked to the arena.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, the whole card itself was freaking stacked, man. Yeah. So I mean, David Feldman, of course, he's doing wonderful things. I know there's another event coming up this coming month in December, man. So I mean, they're staying busy, bro. I mean, the roster's there, but. How many times could somebody fighting bare knuckle, man? Let me ask you that. What are your thoughts?
Damn, dude. I would assume, man, it would be less than the UFC fighter, man, just because now you don't have the protection of the gloves. From what I understand too is that there can actually be penalties for not engaging kind of like the pride rules, where they have a card and stuff like that. So when you have guys that are doing the 2 minutes, 3 minutes per round and they're just kind of going at it.
They're rocking sock. I mean,
I would want you to take into consideration for your longevity of the career, but then also, how many times do you really want to fight that year? Yeah. And I mean, I haven't heard too many guys speak after press conferences over there or something, but I'm not sure how coherent they are.
No kidding, man. I mean, that's a good point because I mean, if they're not beat up that bad, I would assume they come out and say something. I know Pearl Gonzalez, she fought her last fight for bare knuckle, and I mean, she had a 2-fight contract, and I mean, she lost this last one, and her opponent Hart, she did a good thing, man. I mean, she was quick. She was a smaller, faster fighter, I can say. But Pearl, we'll see where she's going, man. She might go back into MMA, maybe even game bred, bare knuckle MMA.
Yeah.
For me, I mean, I like the fact that there's options. I mean, of course, bare knuckle boxing, bare knuckle MMA, kickboxing. I mean, you got it, man. All this stuff, But for me, I mean, the difference between game bred and BKFC obviously is the fact that you're not just going to be taking hits to the face. So there's other. You don't have to, I don't know, because if you're boxing and that's all you got, you got body shots, yes, but more people are going to be trying to cut you, and it's just like you said. I mean, sustain a lot more injury. Mm-hmm. But we'll see, man. I haven't heard anything from her. She hasn't posted anything. She won't answer my DMs, bro. What's up? Come on. But I haven't subscribed to her, man. So maybe that's why, dude. Paige the same way. I'll probably unsubscribe to her and jump ship, dude. We'll see, man. But but we'll see where she's at, bro. Now, as far as bare knuckle, man. I mean, I know we had talked about, the sport. I mean, what'd you do bare knuckle, man?
If you know what, yeah, I think given the time, yeah, I would try that. Yeah, definitely, man.
Okay, good. Hey, I have David Feldman on the line. No, that's a verbal contract.
Hey, man. Hey, sign the date, man. What was the purse?
I know, right? That's too late for that, man. Yeah. Should have gotten a lawyer, bro. No, but yeah, man. I mean, I would. Yeah, I mean, I would hate to get my ass kicked, but I mean, hell, dude, if the money was right, I think I would too, man. I mean, it's just, I mean, I wouldn't fight. I'd probably fight, a guy down the street selling elotes or something, dude. But as long as they paid me, man, why not, bro? But it'd be interesting. I mean, it's just, I mean, you've been in competition, you've been, competed in MMA. So getting hit in the face, man, with a glove compared to getting hit with no glove. I mean, what are you thinking?
See, I mean, I'm always I'd rather take the glove, But it was funny. We used to actually do like a bare knuckle session in practice, but of course it was just we didn't do any headshots or anything like that. But it was just body boxing. Clinch work and stuff like that. So, but it was just kind of help the knuckles out a little bit, but then also on top of that, also get us to kind of think about hitting the body a little bit more. Right, yeah. It's not always about headhunting, and so of course with the conditioning and stuff like that, and yeah, I mean those Saturdays they sucked.
Yeah, So the ones you didn't want to show up to, right? But I didn't know that, man. But I mean that's got to be good mentally because if you're thinking, okay, well it hurt this much without the glove, so now you're gonna get hit with the glove, so it's not as painful.
Not as painful, man, and and then it also you're losing roughly about an inch or so on the padding itself,
right?
The range comes in a little bit quicker, and we've always talked about punching through, through the pads, through your opponent, stuff like that. So when you put the gloves back on and you're still working with that same range, I mean you're gonna punch a little bit more through the body, through the pad, through the head. Like that, so it kind of I thought it was a pretty good exercise for us to do.
No, that's good, man. I know back in the day, man. I mean, even we didn't do it while we trained at Rangel, but we had talked about garage days. We used to go and train at people's garages, and one of the group that I used to train with, like we used to use a hockey mask, and we used to fight with a 4-ounce glove. Actually, it was a Pro Force, big old puffy. But we used to hit the head, and dude, that shit sucked, bro. Like I ain't gonna lie to you, because it wasn't actual contact; it would just rock the fuck out of you, dude. And it was bad. Like after a while, I was just like, dude, just hit me in the face, man. Like because the first time I got caught, like I got hit, I was just like, oh crap, that was like the ugliest freaking feeling ever, man. Like I've been punched in the face, and it sucked. But I mean that face mask thing wasn't good, man.
Well, and then because it'll slide down and
you still get hit, and you're like, hey.
Yeah. We had, speaking of that, man, one of the guys, Steve Kern, I used to train with when I first started. He was like, hey, man, I'm going to try this mask on. And I was like, all right, cool. He's like, I just want you to just punch me as hard as you can. And
shit.
And Steve Kern, man, he's probably about 27 pounds.
Oh, wow, dude.
Little short guy. And, a little ponytail and everything like that. And he's like, all right, go ahead and put the gloves on, man. We're going to put the small ones on. I was like, all right. And we'd go and he's just on the floor. He's just letting me just.
Oh damn, dude!
And then he's like, okay, stop. He's like, man, these helmets
a bad mistake.
Yeah, these helmets aren't worth a damn.
Yeah, dude. No, yeah, man. Because it's just like I've never played football, but I can imagine getting hit on that face mask, rocking your brain, dude. Like it rattles your head more than I don't know. It's just weird, man. But yeah, those hockey masks that wasn't good, man. That was bad. I mean, I got hit once, and I was just like, screw this, dude. Like I just, we started doing not striking in the head because we were like, well, shit, But
we can't get this to work, and then but then of course then you have the other aspect of it where it's technical sparring, and I've always hated that.
Yeah.
So it's like where's the happy medium? So. Hopefully we'll figure that out sooner or later.
And of course, I mean, even now, man, I mean, I know there was a big topic as far as, because back then, man, when you guys were training, you were like killing each other every day. So come fight night, it might have toughened you up, but, it took life away from your fighting years, basically, man. So, I mean, a lot of fighters are fighting smart now. Mm-hmm. Like you said, there's a lot more, technical
sparring.
And controlled, environment and everything. But But yeah, man. I mean, of course, you're doing things smarter now. So good for you guys, man. Don't wear a hockey mask.
Yeah,
that was a pain, bro. I'm gonna bring this up. This is gonna be our last topic, man, and we're gonna go into your final. Okay.
Yes.
But the Holloway fight. I mean, of course, he fought Yair. Going into that, man, I mean, we both called Holloway. I mean, we're talking experience. I believe that I chose the same thing. I know I have to backtrack, but
getting older.
I know, man. I keep forgetting, bro. That's why I'm recording this. So I can go back and see where I screwed up. But the fight, man. What did you think about that fight, bro?
Oh man, that was everything I thought it was going to be, man. When it came out to what the fans were going to want, whether they were seasoned fans, they were casual fans. Like, if we needed to get somebody to really like kind of believe in MMA, say, hey, MMA is better than boxing, or whatever the case may be. Like, if you're trying to convince somebody to watch MMA, that's the fight you get them to see,
right?
Because that was just intense. It was back and forth throughout the whole time. They had really good transitions. They had what's his name? Holloway was doing his thing, just boxing him, just staying in front of him. Head movement, throwing punches and bunches, and then of course you had Yair, who was hitting him with kicks, and like none of the guys backed down. So like, yeah, I think we've talked about it before. Where you had Stephen Bonner, Forrest Griffin, like how that kind of saved MMA in the very beginning. That like this right here was just kind of like another reason why, or this fight was another reason why MMA is not going to go anywhere for a long time, man. And yeah, it was just beautiful. And then, of course, even afterwards, man, I mean, how respectful they were towards each other afterwards. You see the clip of Holloway going to the ambulance.
I know, man, just doing the whole fan photo.
That was spectacular. And on top of that, it was free. So it's like,
yeah, you can't beat that.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this, bro. We didn't talk about this, but this fight, with Holloway and Yair,
mm-hmm.
and compared to the fight that happened the weekend prior, man, with the two guys banging at it as far as
Gaethje and Chandler.
Yes, sir. With Chandler and Gaethje, which fight did you like the most, man? And why?
Man. Which one do I like the most? God, dog, man. Man, I'm still gonna probably run with Gaethje and Chandler.
Man, how dare you, bro?
Because they come from a wrestling background, and for them to strike the way they were, and then just watching some other interviews and stuff like that. But then there was that one moment where Chandler picks up Gaethje, and Gaethje like does like this little back roll or whatever, and ends up like he was already in a disadvantaged state, and then he like ends up and he's like now he's on top of Chandler.
Yeah.
I'm just like, dude, like just all those different like high elite level moves, like stuff like that. I think is what separated this fight from Holloway and Yair. So.
Yeah, you see, and
it wasn't much. It wasn't by much.
Right. No, you see, and the only reason I'm asking, man, was because with Gaethje, of course, and Chandler, man, they freaking threw everything. I mean, it was just, but compared, and I'm gonna backtrack and see, but I don't know how many shots they missed because they got sloppy. For me, it just got after a while, it was just it got too sloppy, man. Where Holloway and Yair, man, I mean, it was a little bit more technical. Shots were a little more straight, and that's kind of why, what I liked about it was that, I mean, if I had to show a fight to somebody, I would show them the Holloway versus, because it's like they'll see, boxing, they'll see kickboxing, they'll see grappling, they'll see, a little bit of everything. I mean, if I was in a bar and I wanted to show a fight, then hey, I would show, freaking Gaethje and Chandler, man, because they'd be like, oh crap, But I mean, that was basically the difference for me. I mean, of course, all these guys would mop the floor with me, man. But I mean, it's just as far as a fan and what I got out of those two fights, but I mean, they're all fighters. They're all out there, of course. I'm a huge fan. So best to everybody. But yeah, man. I mean, they showed the photo with Yair, man. His foot, bro. It was like a freaking balloon, man. I mean, even Bisping, his eye popped out. It was so gross. No. Bad joke. But he was in there and he was just like, man, your foot's freaking bloody disgusting, dude. And it was, man. It was just like, damn. I mean. I don't know if he sustained injuries. I know it's swollen from kicking the hell out of freaking Holloway, but I mean, something like that, man. I mean, what are you thinking as a fighter? Are you even thinking like, oh man, I gotta stop hitting them? I mean, are you still like?
It depends, man. I mean, there's I've kicked the knee before, and I was just like, I know that's gonna hurt later, but you got your adrenaline rushing, you got just the fans that are cheering you on, you have everything kind of going around, so you tend to forget it.
Yeah.
You know, and then on top of that, man, after that, I mean, I know the state, the TDLR, they always tell us, hey, if you win or lose or whatever, that's fine, but please don't drink afterwards because we can't tell between a concussion and a hangover. So, so fighters, you know, hey, celebrate the next weekend or something.
No, definitely. I never thought about that, but yeah, that's true, man.
Yeah, so, you know, but yeah, I mean, you're really not, I mean, there's so much going on in that moment, and you're just trying to be in there. I think that's a big reason why fighters, they're like, man, I broke my hand. And it's just like, some guys are really aware of it. Other guys are just like, well, it's already broken. Let's just see how much. Let's see how much more we can get it.
Oh yeah, man. And I mean, obviously, I mean, they're in the big show, so they don't want to,
you
know, not keep fighting. I mean, that's, you know, but yeah, man. I mean, as far as on these fights, and let me ask you, you talked about adrenaline. Now, when you're in a fight, when does that adrenaline stop, or does it stop, man? Or have you been in a fight where you're like, oh crap, I still got 2 more rounds? And, yeah, like, I mean, how does that work?
Let me see, man. If I'm looking at a fight, let me see. For me, myself personally, you know, so I took a fight on a 3-day notice, and it was for a title fight. And we were supposed to go 5 rounds, and I was in round 4, and it was actually, I think, one of the guys that they used to train with, Bubba.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And I'm in the 4th round. I'm you know, I have him I'm in side control, and I'm on top, and I'm just kind of hammer fisting him a little bit. And I hear my corner, hey man, just stand up, and I'm just like, hold on, I'm tired. You know, I had to move up in weight. I had to, so
that's right.
I didn't really. And then I remember going to the 5th round, and of course, you know, my coach, he's telling me, hey, all right, you know, just keep doing the same game plan, this and that. And I'm like, Jamie, I'm not even worried about that, man. I'm just. There's only going to be so much he can do to me. I'm gonna, you know, I'm just going to find some control somewhere, and you know, I'm going to take him back down, and then I'm just going to kind of ride it out. I'll be all right.
Wait for the bell to ring, and then
yeah. So you know, at that point, I think I was second round, I had cut him open, and everything was going good. I felt good. I felt him pump, and then he just wasn't dying, so he still kept coming. I was like, all right, well, I got to figure this out now because I'm starting to kind of get winded here a little bit. So. It's man. I mean, having to fight 15 pounds heavier than what I normally would was a big thing.
And that was actually for your second title.
That was second one.
Man.
So it was nuts, man. So probably that fight, man. So I felt it. It was after that 3rd round, and I was like, oh no, we're supposed to be done. I was like, nope.
No kidding, dude. That's crazy, man.
Yeah, still got 2 more rounds. But then other times, man, I've been in fights where my adrenaline, it doesn't come off me until after I'm already drinking.
Oh, okay. So it's still keeping you.
Yeah, it's still there. So, man, it just, you know, you can never. I don't think you ever have control of when it stops.
No, well, hopefully, you know, Jair still hasn't stopped, man. Because I'm pretty sure it's still pretty banged up, man.
Yeah, that thing's gonna keep him out for a good minute. So, yeah.
No, man. Well, I mean, that concludes this episode, bro. Anything you want to add to finish us off?
Yeah, man. So, with my final thought today, guys. Man, it's been a long thing. Just talking to different people throughout the week. One of the things that was brought to my attention was I'm at the new gym. How do I get the respect of everybody in there? And I was just like, just show up. I said that's the biggest thing, man. With guys that would first come in, people would talk about, oh man, I'm a street fighter. You know, 10-0. You know, I lost one or this and that. I'm gonna let you guys know this right now. None of the fighters care. None of the fighters care about what you did in the streets. If you, I used to get in a whole bunch of bar fights. Nobody cares.
Yeah.
Chances are you were probably drunk, so you felt like your striking was at an elite level. Chances are the other guy was drunk and his striking was at an elite level. So again, nobody cares. Nobody cares about your bar fights. Nobody cares about your street fights. Nobody cares about anything else. What they do care about is we're gonna run you on Monday. Are you gonna show back up on Tuesday?
Yeah. We're
gonna run you again on Tuesday. Are you gonna be back on Wednesday? You know, and as you start doing these different things, man, you start coming in and being consistent and being a good training partner, being somebody that can be coachable. When Saturday practices come, all right, and you're not invited to it yet, eventually that's going to go away because they're going to see you getting better. And then now it's like, hey, man, we need another training partner. We can count on him.
Right,
and
right.
So yeah, man. So anytime that you're going to a gym, you pick the right one that you wanted. Don't worry about trying to impress somebody. You want to impress somebody, stay consistent, keep showing up, help these guys get better, and help yourself get better because that's the biggest thing. You have guys that'll show up for a couple of days at a time, and then they're gone for a few months.
Right.
We understand that, life happens. We understand, schedules get busy, this and that. But when you can train, go and train. That's how you're going to get the most respect out of those guys from the school. And that's also how you're going to get yourself better. And you're going to continue to grow as a martial artist.
Right.
So my biggest thing and my biggest takeaway just from this week and talking with other guys is just show up. Just show up, man.
Yeah, simple.
Yeah. Nobody cares about anything else beforehand.
You see, man, this whole time I've been bringing everybody tacos, man. But now that I know I can just show up, no, that's actually pretty good, man. I didn't think about that, but I mean that's very well said, man. Man, thank you, Aaron. I mean, of course, always, man. This is going to be conclude this episode for the Fight Card Podcast. Everybody out there, man, if you're listening, subscribe to our YouTube channel. I mean, follow us on our Facebook group page and the page of the Fight Card Podcast. We're also on Twitter and Instagram, and somewhere out there floating around to the TikTok channel somewhere. But don't bother with that one. That was just for video purposes. But everybody out there, once again, this is the Fight Card Podcast. Aaron Suarez, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
And until next time, follow up.